like, share, subscribe. HCB2 World.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, I appreciate you guys joining me on my quest to hit 400 subs. And if you read the title, then that means that you're here for Black Clover Chapter 270. Before I jump into the review, right off the bat, I'm just going to say this wasn't a chapter that I really thought was bad, but I definitely had a bunch of mixed feelings on it. So, I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt like Black Clover in general was like really heavy on terms of the way it does things. It's really heavy in the sense that it uses a lot of the same things that Naruto did, And because of that, every time I read Black Clover, I feel like I'm getting those Naruto vibes. But, you guys are ready. I'm ready. I'm not going to waste too much time on the intro. Let's go. Alright, so right off the bat, I said that I had mixed feelings about the chapter. One of the things that I really wasn't a fan of is the way that the fight ended. Now, granted, I guess to some degree it does make sense because, Asta doesn't have any magic, whereas the devil, who I guess we'll now call Liebe, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but his devil has the powers that let him use anti-magic. So anti-magic against a dude that doesn't have any magic really doesn't do any good, The fight's a wash. But I still felt like they could have done a bunch more cool things than what they actually did. But, the chapter starts and we find out that Asta won the battle and he's saying, I win. So at this point he finds out from Noct that now that he's won, he can control the devil from a place of dominance. And so he tells him that's beneficial because now he can not only use the devil's power at will, but he can kind of subjugate it. But Asta being the kind of guy that he is, he's not a guy that really wants to rule over people. If anything, he's really a guy that feels like everyone is equal, Him being from the boonies, and then not only that, him not having any magic means that he knows what it's like to kind of be at the bottom a little bit. So for him to be put in a position where he's ruling over this devil, that's just not Asta's character. And so what he does instead was he decides that he wants to be friends with this devil. He's like, you've been here through everything. You've really helped me every step of the way, and without you, I really wouldn't have been able to fight. So instead of me trying to make you my slave or trying to, dominate you, why don't we just have this relationship where we're equals? So Noct tells him that he's a fool for doing it this way, but it turns out that's actually the correct way of doing it. One of the cool things about this chapter that I did kind of like was that it confirmed that Lisita is indeed Asta's mom. Now, I don't know if I missed something in chapter 269, but I could have sworn it never actually confirmed that this was his mom. If anything, I'm pretty sure it said that she didn't have any kids and that's why she took in Liebe, He's being bullied and she wanted to nurse him back to health, and he ends up becoming her surrogate kid. So I think it's pretty cool that the fact that Asta also ends up with this devil is because of the fact that his mom sealed the devil in the grimoire. I thought that was a pretty cool callback to kind of the history. But not only that, now I'm wondering if we get this cool dynamic where Asta's going to eventually be able to ask Liebe questions about his mom, because at this juncture, Asta doesn't know anything about his mom or dad, so obviously he hasn't touched on who his dad might be. But at this point, now that we have a confirmation of who his mom is, Asta can ask Liebe, as he finds out that Liebe also had a relationship with his mom prior to Asta even being born. So even though I said I had mixed reviews on this chapter, another one of the reasons why I feel that way is because I feel like Black Clover in general just does a lot of the same stuff that Naruto did, And I'm cool with kind of trying to be like someone you admire, kind of like a younger brother trying to be like an older brother. But sometimes I feel like not only do they kind of try to take some of the same elements that Naruto used, but they also don't do it the same way. They also don't do it in a way where the execution is good. And a good example is this, you have this whole situation where Asta's trying to take over this devil, but at the same time, as you're reading this, you're like, man, this reminds me of when Naruto was trying to tame Kurama, or when he was trying to get the Nine-Tails chakra. I feel like they try to go the same route, but I feel like they didn't execute it as well as Naruto did. And because they didn't execute it right, for me it just felt really, really rushed, With Naruto trying to get Kurama's chakra, they had that whole relationship, you were like emotionally invested because here you have Naruto starting as a kid and he has this fox within him his entire life, and even though Naruto's really not a bad guy, people treat him like crap because he has this fox in him. Where Asta has this devil, but not only does Asta have this devil, it's not even like he had it the entire time. Asta really doesn't even come into contact with this devil until he gets to Grimoire. So it's like, you know, you don't have that emotional investment that you would like. And I feel like they kind of took that same scene from Naruto where, you know, again, he's trying to take over the Nine-Tailed Fox, and they just rushed it, you know. So you got this whole thing playing out. I felt like the fight happened really fast, and then I felt like, you know, this whole thing with him making the contract happen extremely fast. You know, maybe they did that on purpose because obviously they don't have a lot of time to get ready before they go into the Spade Kingdom. But I feel like the way they're doing it, you just really don't care, you know. There's not that emotional investment. And then you kind of look at this and it's like they use one of the old Naruto techniques, the talk no jutsu, or the friendship no jutsu. So, you know, instead of Asta trying to reign over this devil, he's like, hey, let's just be friends. Which I guess for the world of Black Clover itself, it makes sense, again, because that's how Asta is. But I'm just like, man, that's just like the biggest cop out. And then, you know, sometimes when they execute things, I'm just not really a fan of it. But one thing I did like is that, you know, Asta was very good about explaining how he knew this devil wasn't really trying to hurt him. Because he said, even though Liebe was saying things like kill, kill, and I hate this and I want revenge, at the end of the day, Asta could tell, you know, there was no real killing intent behind it. So the fact that he got the desired result without really having to have this crazy battle, I guess is a very good thing from a certain standpoint. But now I'm really not sure what's going to happen with this whole thing of them having to take on Nacht in order to get stronger. I don't feel like that really makes sense. I mean, but who knows? Maybe this is all a lead up to Asta getting some kind of new devil form now that him and Liebe have made a contract. Kind of like how when Naruto finally was able to work with Kurama, he got the Nine-Tails chakra mode and stuff like that. So hopefully that's where it's going. Other than that, you know, again, there wasn't really much in this chapter to dive into, but the few elements that there were, I just figured I'd touch on those to kind of really get my feelings on it. So, you know, obviously I apologize for putting this out a little late, but, you know, I'm an adult. Sometimes, you know, you don't really have a lot of time to do all the things you want to. But I thought it was important to definitely get this one out there so I can get the reviews going again. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how you felt about it. For me, you know, it wasn't really a great chapter, but it also wasn't trash. I just felt like they rushed a lot of elements, and had they done a better job of world building on some points, you might have been a little more emotionally invested. Granted, you know, like I said, Asta's been with this devil ever since he got the Grimoire, but again, you don't feel that same connection that you would with a Naruto and the Nine-Tailed Fox. So let me know how you guys feel. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, I'm going to ask you guys to smash that like button on the way out, because it lets me know that I'm doing things right. You know, if you don't like it, I apologize, but you know, I'm just going to try to keep my reviews as real as possible. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. I'm on the quest to hit 400 subs, so hopefully I can get there, and you hitting that subscribe button is going to help me do that. As always, I'm your boy, Heroes Come Back 2. Do great, be great. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!